New major Kim Kardashian backlash. We got to talk about this, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian, and I welcome you all with open arms. I spill pop culture tea videos every single day, so if you are looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. I do spill pop culture tea from my very sparkly closet, and the whole vibe on my channel is like we're on a FaceTime call. So if that's something you're in the market for, honey, subscribe. Listen, we gotta talk about Miss Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian.
And for the first time, I'm gonna tell you that I actually do not agree with the backlash that she is getting. So there are new reports, best friend, that Kim Kardashian is a little bit, she exaggerates a little bit the security of it all for her and her family, especially with her children. So she's getting some backlash because a lot of people believe that she's not giving her children a normal childhood. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, when the children go to school, they have a team of about 10 nannies and armed security. So the article says Kim Kardashian's kids go to school with armed security. You don't want to mess with them, girl. Kanye West's online shenanigans and controversial outbursts prompted Kim to amp up security for their kids. The former couple and parents of 4 are on the brink of a messy custody battle, and Kardashian is sparing no effort to ensure her little one's safety in light of recent events. The former couple's 4 children, North, St. Chicago, and Sam, reportedly go to their private school in California with armed security and multiple nannies as she navigates the complicated state of affairs with West, who now goes by Ye. Okay, so basically, according to the article, she has the security basically because of Kanye. Am I understanding this right? You see, I, in my head, thought it was because, she's Kim. Says a source exclusively tells the U.S. Sun that Kim Kardashian stepping up security and safety measures for her kids. She has 3 or 4 nannies come in SUVs driven by armed security most mornings. The insider claimed as the businesswoman and reality star reportedly has a team of 10 nannies helping her with the children. Now, I do have some inside tea. So allegedly, best friend, this part might be false because I heard from a very good source that Kim, when she's in town and she always drives her kids to school. Like, she might go with security and maybe like a nanny following, but like she always drives her kids to school. Additionally, the nannies often stay to watch the kids play at drop off and pick up, as her mother doesn't want a big fuss at the school and only wants them to be as safe as possible given her busy schedule. The insider revealed that the school's teachers and staff are used to having celebrity children there. In fact, they attempt to make life as normal as possible. It also, this is also good to know, like, this article is not saying that the security stays in school, but I'll talk a little bit about it later on in the video. But apparently, allegedly, the security of all these celebrity children, like Beyonce's children and, like the Kardashians and all that, they actually have security stay all day long. Source claimed that her eldest, Northwest, is somewhat of a big personality like her parents and has a quite cliquey social circle and is unsurprisingly one of the ones that rules the school. Additionally, the 11-year-old has people gravitating towards her now that she's making a name for herself. Reports previously mentioned that Kim Kardashian boosted security for her kids after West targeted her in his X, formerly, of course, Twitter, rants. A source informed the Daily Mail that she reached a new extreme and hired a security detail to be with her 24/7 due to safety concerns. The insider even claimed that she urged those close to her not to make public personal information that could reveal her whereabouts. She was horrified at the time and reportedly feels that things involving her former husband always gets worse. Okay, so I'm just going to be very honest. Between Kanye, between what happened with Kim Kardashian in Paris and also the huge freaking name that the Kardashians have worldwide, I personally would have 5,000 security guards protecting my children, okay? One thing that we have to be very clear about is that these are not normal children. They're not normal children. The teachers could try and give these children the most normal day in school possible, even eat the bad cafeteria food. But let me tell you something, these are not normal children, okay? Just the other day, I was watching. I'm in like watching old movies from Disney Channel. So Disney Channel before they used to have like a Disney Channel movie of the week thing, and oh my God, if you guys have not checked out like all the '90s and 2000s, I don't know if this is a Disney. Anyways, it's called My President's Daughter or something, and it's with Tom Cruise's ex, Katie Holmes. So fucking good. And is it that movie? I'm confusing a movie. I don't know. But anyways, the security stands behind in the end of the back of the class, right? The security for, the person. I think it's the president's daughter or something. But security detail go to school with these celebrities. And in my opinion, I'm like, this is the best thing you could do when you come from such a huge family that is known worldwide, that probably gets every single day, right? And not only that, but they're like a billionaire. Like Kim Kardashian is an actual billionaire. And not only that, girl, but she got to protect from Kanye and all the craziness that he talks and all the enemies that he makes, that people are going to probably want to take it out on these children. Do you know what I mean? So of course she has to have these armed security guards and nannies. Now, they didn't specify whether or not the security go to school with the kids, but I'm going to give you guys some inside tea. So I know someone who goes to school, where their children go to school with a lot of famous people's children, okay? I'm not going to say anything more because safety reasons, but I will say that I've heard a lot of tea about this. And in fact, the more important, the more rich, the more famous, politician type parent you have, each student does have their personal security guards at school 24/7, okay? So I'll tell you a specific person whose family is very, very rich and very, very famous, okay? They have security waiting outside the school during school, right? Outside of school, in the door, okay? Then they have security outside the classroom, okay? And sometimes that security comes in and just to make sure everything is good and out. But they have eyes on the kids 24/7, okay? If they're in a school project, if they're going to the bathroom, if they're doing a what is it called? Like a presentation, the doors of the classrooms have they're glass so you could see, and all the security just stand out there watching 24/7. So the entrances of the schools are secured. The class is secured. When they walk from one class to another, they're being protected. When they go to the cafeteria, they stand at the door of the cafeteria so they know exactly who's coming in and who's coming out. I mean, listen, I appreciate the fact that these famous people give their children as much normalcy as they can, like going to school, right? Because yes, I think it's important for a child to go to school if the circumstances are good. And at the end of the day, they do come from a very big and famous and also very hated family and they probably had to, endure a lot of hate and a lot of threats. And you have to be very careful. And so I would do exactly the same. And I quite don't understand why she's receiving so much backlash. I actually think it's kind of stupid to think that Kim Kardashian is going to send, or any famous person for that matter, is going to send their children to a school without protection, right? And so I actually feel like, yes, this could definitely, be intimidating and everything. But I read a lot of comments saying, what about like their classmates? Like, this must be so weird for them too. If you're going to that school with the same children as these famous people, that means that your parents are very, very, very wealthy and you are used to this type of world, okay? Because not only famous people have security, rich people have security too. Do you know what I mean? So it just makes sense to these children because that's all they've known, you know? And a lot of these classmates have grown up with Kim's, children and all these children, so they know exactly how it is, right? I do think that there is it's a very weird upbringing, but that's their normal, they don't know any better. Their family has been rich since they were born, and even years before they were born, they were rich. So I actually think Kim taking them to school, dropping them off, and having them at school, is a big thing, especially after what happened to her in Paris, and I would be terrified. I mean, I don't have children yet, but my God, I would be terrified. I'm sure they don't have to worry about a lot of the things that you worry about in public school, right? Because I mean, in my school, we even had pop threats. I mean, it was crazy. I'm sure their school is a lot more organized and, safe and, bougie and all these things. No one is fighting at the cafeteria and all these things. But yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it. And I actually appreciate Kim even allowing her children to go to school. I would probably have them homeschool because I would be so terrified. And especially when they start getting into the older, crowds and the high school crowds, the bullying or making fun of them. I don't know. I think at some point, of course, they're gonna try run away from the security, and they're gonna try and be embarrassed by them, because at the end of the day, they're not gonna be able to, because in school you have fun, you have your first crushes, you get into trouble, you maybe skip, a period or something, and, you hide out in the bathroom with your friends laughing in the stall. You do fun things that these children will never be able to get, to get past these security, because if you're standing right outside the classroom looking at them 24/7, I mean, I think it could definitely get very overwhelming. But I don't know. I would want to keep my child safe if I were that famous or that rich, and having so many people constantly hate me, I would be terrified for my children. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I think that she's trying her very best. I really, truly do. And, for those saying that it's very, too much, all what she is doing with the security, I feel like you should go to her comment section. These people get death threats all the time. Kanye West has so many enemies, after what happened to her in Paris. I mean, can you imagine, God forbid, a kidnapping or some shit, I mean, I'm all about all these people keeping their children safe. Yes, you want to have them have the most normal upbringing, but unfortunately, they're not normal, They think that that's their normal, right? But not everyone has a private jet, little Shirley. You know what I mean? So they're not fighting over eggs at Trader Joe's. I'll tell you that much. But anyways, girl, what do we think? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. Do you think that Kim is doing too much, or do you think that Kim is doing just right? Let me know in the comments. I love you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Mwah.